Hello students, welcome to the world of chemistry. This is Dr. Vikram Panchal and I'm dealing with a chemistry topic thermodynamics. In this lecture series, this is lecture number 13, and in this lecture I will explain you what is state functions and how it can be defined or how it can be separated from other properties. So state function is basically fundamental properties which represent thermodynamical system. And to explain something more about these state functions, let us take example of potential energy. Now all of you know what is potential energy, but still let us define it. It is energy possessed by an object by virtue of its position relative to others. Is known as potential energy. Now this can be explained with example only. So let us take one example. Suppose we take different levels. Let us take two different levels and one more level which is in between them. The first one is A level, second one is B level, and third one is C level. There are two objects of the same mass. One is on A level, let us call it A object, and one is on C level, we call it C object. Now A level is the highest level, and therefore the potential energy of object A will be maximum. Why? Because it is having at certain position, certain height with reference to ground level. Okay. Similarly, potential energy of object C will be minimum. Why? Because between these two objects, object C is at lowest level with reference to ground level. That is why object C is having minimum potential energy. Okay. Now we can transfer these objects from different levels to B level. So object A is brought to B level via this route. Similarly, object C is brought to C level via this route. Okay. Now we have both objects A and C having same mass, and they are at the same level, B level. Okay. So here both objects will be having same potential energy. Why? Because potential energy is related to the position of a substance or an object. So object A and C are at the same level with reference to the ground level. So we can say that both these objects are having same potential energy. Therefore, potential energy become state function. So potential energy of object A and C are different at different positions or at different levels. That is level A and level C. Okay. Why? Because their height with reference to ground level is different, and that is why the potential energy would be different. But when both these objects are brought to level B via different routes, then their potential energy would be same. Because potential energy depends on position. Okay, it does not depend on the route of any of these objects to brought this level B, A. Okay, so we can say that potential energy of an object depends on the position of particular level. Potential energy does not depend on the route to bring that particular object to a certain level. Therefore, potential energy is a state function. So any property of an object, a thermodynamic object, which does not depend on the route how it is brought to certain level, is called a state function. Okay, it is not at all related to the route how it was brought to the same that condition. For example, here you can see that at level A, object A is having maximum energy, but when it was brought to level B, because the height decreased, potential energy of object A would be different or less than the same object at level A. Why? Because at level A was the highest. Similarly, the object C is having less energy when it was at level C. When object C was brought to the level B, then definitely the object C's uh, potential energy increased with reference to level C. Why? Because level B is the higher level than level C. So this way How these objects are brought to from different levels to the certain level is not at all related to the potential energy of these two objects at particular level. So when both objects are at level B, we can say that both objects are having same energy because the level is the same. That is why. Okay. So I think this is enough in this lecture. Thank you so much.